can make like 3 lectures out of it. The whole series. It's very interesting.
We can make 5 out of it. I have 45 pages of information.
It's a very interesting topic. We just touched on different lodges and different teachings, but to go in depth and actually understand what is it about.
Well, no teacher comes and gives to the world at large the esoteric knowledge. This is only reserved for the inner circle. Because what does Jesus say? I give it to the general public in parables so that they can hear but not understand it. Because general public, unless you have a key to the mysteries, you possibly cannot understand what it is. The secret doctrine, if you read the secret doctrine page by page, I can show you where some of the information is esoteric because I do not understand it. I can read it for 20 years and then one day when I wake up, sometimes it clicks in my mind because I have been on it and on it. It's just like you have a problem in science, like math or something, and you go to sleep at night and your mind, your higher mind, is preoccupied with this and it sifts the information to you. When you wake up in the morning, you have the answer there. It's a similar principle. These require assistance in understanding because the words are not understandable. Because Peter comes from Petra, and that has a tremendous meaning in mythologies of Great Egypt. And I haven't even gone into that. But if I had time, I would have. Because it is very important to understand where Peter came. Because that was an assumed name. The church fathers just denoted one of them as Peter to bring him out and saying that this is the rock upon which the church of the future is going to build. But that has a tremendous meaning in Egyptian mysteries. The rock is Petra. And this question is asked in the secret doctrine, would a disciple of the wisdom religion put someone, a personality who opposed him in charge of his religion? I mean, we have to use reason. I'm not here to defend or otherwise. I'm simply presenting the information given, and everyone is left to go and do their own research to come to their own conclusion. I'm not here to do anything but present the information. So there is tremendous amount of information that I had to gather from different parts of ISIS and also from the secret doctrine. HPB does not write anything in sequence. In fact, most of this information is in the footnotes in the secret doctrine. It's not even in the main passage. Yeah.
What I often sort of ponder and wonder about was that Christ, of course, was one of the great adepts. He came here with this great message to us. But did he fail? Or did he succeed? What actually happened? It's very mixed.
Well,
because we even don't know the Gnostic Christianity, we don't know even his message. It's almost that it got lost.
what happened? What happened? We just said what happened. The Christian church fathers, I haven't talked about the Gnostic Christian fathers and the agnostic Christian church fathers. There's 3 of them. I left it for the next section. Okay, this is very okay. The Gnostics that HPB writes about is Basilides, Marcion, and Valentinus, and the Orthodox fathers Justin Martyr, Irenaeus, and Tertullian. Okay, the fight then first is between Peter and Paul. Then the church takes side. Orthodox Jew, Peter, assigned by the church to carry on the church's agenda, not Jesus's agenda. You have to differentiate those two in your mind. Jesus came to do what? We just read it on this first page. Came to give us general principles that apply to all of humanity. He was not here to bring about dogmatic religion. He came to correct the dogma that had crept into the Jewish religion, because he says, my responsibility is to the Jewish nation first. As Buddha came to fight the Brahmins and cleanse the priesthood of that element, and we said what they were doing. Where was that? Let me see if I can find it. Because that's the first page that states that. This statement that is made. Now I can't find it. I mixed it up, I think. I read it to you. It's the first page. So in our minds, we do have to differentiate as to what Jesus' precepts were and what the church did with it. Yes, Dupree?
To just respond to some of what was to
Yep.
the question, I have heard about a former old student within ULT state that because of his enthusiasm to come, he came a little ahead of time. Sometimes you know how the farmer plants the seed, and sometimes he may pick it before it's ready, something like that. So keeping in mind that Apollonius, they said he was a witness on a scene, you know, a dark cycle was beginning as well. So to the extent that he failed, addresses what she said, you know, because time and, you know, these great adepts, etc., they come when the cycle is ready and people's minds, the soil is fertile, something like that. So there's that question there that has been addressed before, whether or not he failed. But to continue the thought, I read someplace also where it states that it's the followers, these folks who have become followers of Jesus instead of a brother of Jesus, who have continually kept him locked into this prison that they have placed in him, placed upon him in terms of him being the only Son of God, etc. So it's when the Christians delve deeper into what has been presented, and as a result of that, free him from that position that he has placed, that they have placed him in. Will he succeed? Will his teachings pretty much, you know, be successful?
Okay, thank you. I will read from here. It says, there are many persons, to address your question, there are many persons even in this enlightened day who consider Christianity as a unique religion, the Bible as the only revelation of God, and Jesus Christ as his only begotten Son. If this were true, it would mean that during all the vast procession of the ages, there has been only one expression of truth. But truth, as every thinking person will admit, is universal and could not have been limited to a single expression. So what are we talking about here? We have Brahmanical truth expressed by the Buddha, right, in Hindustan. We have what? His teachings going towards Tibet, Ceylon, Sri Lanka. It is spread because it's based on ethics. That if in Persia we have the Zoroastrian truth expressed to that part of the world. So we are saying that there is custom and other expressions of truth in different parts of the world. So just this small country of Judea could not have been the expression of truth that Jesus came and gave out. It was one type, one expression. But there were other expressions that preceded his, because he came in the 500, which the Buddha started. So he comes into a smaller cycle to a different part of the world. Then it says here, if Christianity is an expression of universal truth, it will gain rather than lose by a recognition of its identity with other expressions of the same truth. If the Bible is a revelation of God, its truth will become more apparent if it is found to agree with other revelations. If Jesus was a Son of God, his position will become still more secure when he is recognized as a member of that great fraternity of perfected men, all of whom have presented identical doctrines, not the same. One might look at it from a mythical, ethical viewpoint. Another is a leader and a fighter at the same time. So it's martial, ethical, and other things. It says here, the study of history of these 5 centuries will disclose an important fact, that there is nothing unique in Christianity. It will show that Jesus was not a unique character, but only one of a long line of teachers. It will show that the Bible is not a unique book, but one of the many scriptures of the world. It will show that there is not a single dogma, ritual, or ceremony in the Christian church that has not been taken bodily from the so-called pagan religions. And when I did the research for Jesus Christ, it says that there is no image of Jesus Christ. The image that the church adopted was Serapis, who always, this is Alexandria temple. There was a temple of Serapis very close to the Alexandrian Brachian Rivalry, and this is where this image was adopted from. And what about the Madonna? Isis, the Egyptian goddess, Isis and Horus. And this is a known fact to the historical writers, that all these similarities exist between all these religions. All of them are virgin births. All of them come into difficulty. They're pursued and they're persecuted, all of them. And then they rise above and get initiated after all that difficulty that they experience, and then they come out to teach the same gnosis, the same wisdom of the ages. They just address it to a different part of the world, a different people. And so what happened to Christ's teachings? His only inner teaching is the Logia of Matthew, recorded by Saint Matthew, and in the hands of the Mandaeans. They exist today in Persia, and the writer says you can go and converse with them. Yes, Debris?
So then, if I'm hearing you correctly, what you're saying then, or could it be said that in this age of conspiracy and cover-up, then the churches, what they did through distorting and changing things around, transformation, could you say that that is both a conspiracy and a cover-up that has lasted for since his appearance here? And then how does one uncover the cover-up? I mean, as you seem to be giving out this information, which reverses the story that's been presented, through the church. But today you can go around the country and see that there are folks sitting within, the audience and listening to Reverend so-and-so presenting just a view. So how does one...
It says there are many persons, even in this enlightened day, who consider Christianity a unique religion.
Right,
so this is what you're saying.
Yeah. So
but the writings...
Is that unique to Christianity? Because it seems like, to me, that a lot of the movements that get started throughout the ages, they claim to be unique.
Well...
And they forget about the fact that we are all united, and we have this Western separatist mentality. Is that where it might come from? I didn't mean to start something else.
In the teachings, this movement is called plagiarism. That the church plagiarized all of the documents that it has presented to the world as its own. Because HPB says everything in the church has been an adaptation from the pagans.